James Gunn is all set to tackle the big leagues with the upcoming DCU film Superman, which will kickstart the revamped franchise on the big screen. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. The latest teaser trailer showed the first glimpse of Gunn's vision of hope and kindness for Kal-El, miles away from Zack Snyder's dark and gritty exploration of absolute power. While the teaser proved that Gunn's vision was to bring back the hopeful nature of the character, and many fans seem to be on board with this intention, will it be enough to bring in the big bucks? I don't think so. The big billion might still be a long shot for the freshman effort of the DCU unless Gunn's storytelling really hits it out of the park. Despite being one of the most popular superheroes of all time, James Gunn's Superman could have some difficulty raking in the big bucks. The Boys especially has managed to comment on the status superheroes hold in society, specifically America, and how they would influence everything from military spending to elections if they were treated as celebrities in the world they existed in. In the age of Homelander, would Superman still be relevant? We are in an age where superhero films might just be at their saturation point, but they are the ones being made. From traditional superheroes like Spider-Man and Wolverine to more secondary and tertiary characters like Aquaman, Blue Beetle, and Echo, all of them are being explored, with the MCU especially churning out new content every year. Apart from the two giants in the comic book realm, many other alt comics have also turned into big IPs such as The Boys and Invincible. Though films like Blade and Hellboy had a fanbase before, the adaptations mentioned above subvert not just their source material but also the film and TV adaptations of the mainstream comics. The Boys especially has managed to comment on the status superheroes hold in society, specifically America, and how they would influence everything from military spending to elections if they were treated as celebrities in the world they existed in. In the age of Homelander, would Superman still be relevant? Superman is the first superhero and is the perfect example of the American hero everyone aspires to be. He is a good man who chooses humanity over everything and safeguards American society's interests despite all odds. He is overpowered with little weaknesses and his red and blue suit screams USA. However, times have changed and there have been far grayer and bizarro alternates to Superman in popular media. James Gunn's Superman may try to bring back some good OL heroism back into the fold, but would that really work in today's times? Comic book writer Todd McFarlane mentioned how the toughest job was to get Superman right, via Screen Rant. Superman is this classic Boy Scout, the perfect superhero. What do you have to modify to get a 20-year-old today who wasn't even born in the 1900s? They were born this century. That's it. If you can do that, then that big S in that word Superman is going to appeal to all of us that were born in the 1900s. That's it. That would be the goal I would give. I'd go, okay, James, now do that, and hope that they come back and give you some great ideas behind it. The recent Superman teaser has shown us that there is still plenty to explore with this picture-perfect hero. It begins with a bruised and bloodied Superman calling out for help, and we also see instances where he is hated by the people. James Gunn is an amazing filmmaker. He single-handedly took a Marvel IP that had very little mainstream popularity and turned it into a juggernaut of a franchise with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. With his unique vision that strangely blends emotion and dark humor, Gunn broke the MCU's own template and surprised them with a blockbuster. While the release of his The Suicide Squad may not have been optimal, with the same-day streaming and theatrical release acting against its box office performance, the film took an IP that had a terrible image and filled it with so many Gunnanigans that it became an entirely new thing of its own. It also led to the spin-off Peacemaker series, which is a gift to humanity. The critical success of both these DC properties and his experience at Marvel got him the job of co-chief of DC Studios. But his choice to helm Superman, the film on the hero that started this whole superhero business and is as mainstream as it gets, is truly a ballsy move. And it also runs the risk of being his first huge fumble. The best part of Gunn's films and shows is how he looks at people who are on the fringes. Each one of the IPs mentioned above is about a ragtag team of misfits who join together to find a second family with each other as they go on missions and adventures. The storylines may be different, but at their core, it is all about accepting who you are despite the quirks. But Superman is not on the fringes. He is the superhero, the most powerful man in the world, and he's CA. In an episode of Josh Horowitz's Happy Sad Confused podcast, the conversation turned to how James Gunn felt about the direction the MCU was going in after making the jump, and whether there was any unfinished business there. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. If you are James Gunn, life is going good. Or at least it has the promise to. At the helm of the DC Universe reboot, the CEO of DC Studios has the chance to weave a story, nay, a universe, like no other. And he begins his endeavor with David Corenswet's Superman, Legacy. While most of the conversations with Gunn nowadays revolve around what he is doing, he is often also made to answer for the works he has done in the past. And on the top of that list are his works on the other side of the comic book divide. James Gunn reveals that he wanted to do a Ravagers show, along with a legendary Star-Lord and Rocket and Groot project in the MCU, Lost. James Gunn reveals 3 Guardians of the Galaxy spin-offs that may now never see the light of day. To be honest, Rocket and Groot is what Guardians 3 was. So I wanted to do Rocket and Groot first. And it was turned into Guardians 3, instead of Rocket and Groot. 'Cause I know I needed to tell Rocket's story. While his dream to bring the first 2 to fruition bore no fruit, the last was not really in vain. He continued. Answering the latter, the 58-year-old clarified that there were indeed projects which he wanted to explore, and some which he did get to explore, but not how he would have wanted to. https://twitter.com/cosmic_marvel/status/1864676445961724315. Replying to a question from Horowitz, Gunn revealed that there were 3 projects which he had in mind. He said, "There are so many. The Ravager show, I thought would be a fun thing. Legendary Star-Lord. Very frankly, we had a whole idea for that. And then, Rocket and Groot." While he did not get the creative freedom to make those decisions happen, he still looks forward to how the characters pan out going forward. To be honest, Rocket and Groot is what Guardians 3 was. So I wanted to do Rocket and Groot first. And it was turned into Guardians 3, instead of Rocket and Groot. 'Cause I know I needed to tell Rocket's story. While his dream to bring the first 2 to fruition bore no fruit, the last was not really in vain. He continued. While his words will more than likely turn out to be true, one can't rule out the fact that they will return. That is all set to happen, albeit with a new team and a new name. And the director has just one advice for anyone who takes up the mantle going forward: try to do something new. Taking into account the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it is anything but certain that the Guardians as we know them won't be back ever. He said, "I don't think there will ever be a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4. There's many reasons this group will not be back. There could be more Guardians movies, but it won't be with this group." While he is excited for whatever the future holds for Marvel, his attention is most likely turned to July 2025, when Superman, Legacy hits the theaters. I think as long as somebody brings themselves to it, and doesn't just try to copy that style, I think it can be really amazing. And there are so many directors I would like to do that.